Arsenal Fan TV here with the Arsenal legend. Number one is Perry Groves.
It's going to take a long time. Don't forget number 7, Liam Brady.
No, we kept it going as you.
Yeah, no, that's just in case people forget me. And my family go to the games at the Emirates, and they just have a little sing-song just to make sure that I'm selling like the fans' consciousness. That's
one of the best ever songs for a player. Do you know that?
I like na 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 na.
Perry Groves song's better. Perry Groves song's better.
The thing is, it's humbling because I was explaining to someone before. There's far better players than me who play for Arsenal who don't have a song. And I know I find it quite endearing because I think it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, and I think it's a little bit of sort of not homage, but it's the word I don't know, sort of people sort of saying thanks for what you did. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I had to play anywhere. I didn't have one position. I knew what my role was in the team. You get your flair players, you get players who are creative. My job basically was to run around and be a nuisance and be a runner and put people under pressure and close people down.
A lot of players wouldn't do that now. They'd be like, you know, if you play Arsenal to play a couple of positions, they throw their toys out the pram and they'd be in a strop. And
yeah, it's terrible if you're on 60, 70 grand a week and you might be asked just to play maybe 10, 15 yards out of position. I don't know how they cope sometimes. But I think as well what the fans, when fans watch somebody like Cheer on Replay, right? And Dennis Bergkamp, and even Merce, like might want to. I know he's my mate, and they'll do things on a pitch, and fans will go, "I don't know, he did that. I couldn't do that." When I played, I think fans looked to me and thought, if I played for Arsenal, that's how I'd have to play. I'd have to give everything that I had. Do you know what I mean? Because not every player is blessed with that natural ability, and you need different players so then they can produce their natural ability. And I think a lot of Arsenal fans sort of. You become a better player when you finish playing because people watch your YouTube clips and they don't see all the misses, they see all your goals, which is pretty good. But then I think they think, with me, whatever he did, whatever his faults were, I gave 100% in every game.
Listen, you're downplaying yourself. Listen.
No, I'm not, honestly. People think that I'm trying to be too modest, but I'm not, because you have to know. I think sometimes what happens is, in the modern day game, I think a lot of players don't know their role and they don't know their place. And I'm not saying, I used to go on the pitch thinking I was the best player on the pitch. Because if you don't, then it's not worth playing football. In reality, I knew that other people would probably be more influential than me. But if I didn't do my job of getting in behind the centre halves or stretching the fullback or closing centre halves down, then number one, I wasn't going to play. And number two, I'm not justifying position in the team. Because if I do that, then people like David Rocastle, Paul Merson, Paul Davis, they get space to do their magic. But if you don't have a runner, then they can't do that. So it's,
and that's exactly what you did in '89 when we won the league at Liverpool. You created that space.
Do you know what? You must have done your coaching badges. You know your football. That's not a widely regarded. You know your football. No, all
you created the space.
All it was. I'd just like to say as well, that's one of the greatest goals Arsenal have ever scored, because not only, obviously, great goals are judged by the magnitude and the importance of the game. I've seen Arsenal players score goals from like 35, 40 yards, beat 5 or 6 people. The great goals are judged in importance, and not only the importance of it, but how it was scored. And we had the reputation of being a direct team, right? But we weren't. We were very, very effective in what we did. We could play. You don't have players like David Rocastle, Paul Davis, Paul Merson, latterly Anders Limpar, without being a good footballing team in the right areas. Kevin Richardson wins the ball off of John Barnes. If Kevin Richardson doesn't run and close John Barnes down in the corner, little chicken legs, right? We don't go the other way. He gives it to John Lukic. John Lukic throws out Lee Dixon. Lee Dixon plays it Alan Smith. Little ricochet. I make the very intelligent run in behind the back four. But then what happens is you make the run. Either the centre half goes with you, which they did. Then you leave a bit of a gap. Then Michael Thomas has got to be clever enough and aware enough. I think that's where the gap is. He runs into it, and then all the top sportsmen say in individual sports that on the real pivotal important moments, everything they go into slow motion. Their heart rate drops, and it seemed like slow motion. I was obviously on the wing watching, and it was like I was overseeing something. It wasn't like I was on the pitch. And
like the Matrix.
Yeah, it was. No, it was. It just went slow, and I could see the Liverpool defenders closing on Tomo, and then taking another touch, getting into the box, and me thinking, Tomo, shoot. And for him to have the ability and there's a saying in football, you have fire in your heart and ice in your head. And he had ice in his head because he waited and waited and waited. Bruce Robler stood big, and then he committed himself to flick it over him. And if you look at him replay it, he's that away from being tackled by 2 people from. Yeah. So it couldn't. If I'd have gone through, I'd have smacked it against a crossbar and it'd come out because I just thought I've got to get this on target. And Tomo missed a sitter about 15 minutes before.
That's right. Yeah.
So for him to put himself in that position showed unbelievable mental strength and unbelievable massive heart. Because if he misses it, he becomes remembered as the player that missed the chance. By all Arsenal fans will remember Gordon Smith for Brighton in the FA Cup. He said, how long do you think of that miss that they could have beat Man United? I think about it every 30 minutes. And he's been honest. So for Tomo to put himself in, couldn't have fell to a better person.
Absolutely unbelievable. It must have been unbelievable for you guys. It was unbelievable for the fans, for you guys afterwards. I mean, it just doesn't get better than that. I mean, maybe the Aguero goal, but then everybody expected City to beat QPR when he scored that.
I don't see that. Drama, it was good. It was brilliant for Sky. I don't see that anywhere near Michael Thomas's goal when we beat Liverpool. You've got to remember, they'd won the FA Cup. They were going to win the double. So we were going there to take the league title off of them because it was
their place.
At their place. You had the emotions of the Hillsborough disaster of all the Liverpool fans as well. You know, it was going to be a tribute to them if they could win the double. So both teams could stop each other from winning the title. QPR couldn't stop Man City from winning the title. It was in Man City's hands, always. It wasn't in our hands. It was Liverpool's. They had the title. And trust me, me and Mercy just been speaking about it there, they were probably the best club side. You couldn't get the ball off Liverpool, let alone get 2 goals. We didn't used to get 2 throw-ins. And the thing that psychologically, again, in football, psychology has a lot to do with it, like your belief. Earlier on in the season, we'd gone up there in the, I forget what it's called then, it's Capital One Cup there, might have been the Littles Cup, Carling Cup, where it was, and we drew 1-1, and Rocky scored an unbelievable goal. I don't know if you remember, he pinged it in the top, and we should have battered them. We drew 1-1, right? And we come off that pitch thinking, I can't believe we ain't beat these. They were lucky, us not. But then you have to have that belief of going there thinking, yeah, we're all right, we can match these, we got a chance. But we didn't think we'd beaten 2 clear goals. Jules Graham was the only one who thought it. He was the only one.
And just like Paul Merson, you've moved into the media. We hear you very regularly on Talk Sport. I mean, do you enjoy that side of things?
Yeah, it's a lot easier talking about it than playing it. You ain't got 50,000 people booing you when you make a mistake. Mind you, people text and tweet in now, so you can't get away with anything. I mean, we've been unbelievably privileged. I've been unbelievably privileged. I started playing football when I was probably 4 or 5 with my dad, then played in like Sunday teams and then school teams and then county teams, and then like Wolves got rejected. But I played football because I loved it. It wasn't anything to do with money. You don't play football when you're a kid. Money doesn't come into your head.
It does now.
Yeah, no, I think all the great players it doesn't. I don't think if you look at, I know like Lionel Messi and Ronaldo just bought his agent an island somewhere, £3 million. But when they first started playing football, it wasn't about money. They just want to be, they're not motivated by money. They're motivated by they want to be the best player that the world has ever seen. And they're not lazy, they work hard. But from our point of view, I didn't know that on Match Today when I was a kid, when you saw highlights of Match Today, I didn't realise that those players got paid. When you're a kid, you don't think that people get paid. And then you want to be a footballer and you realise, I want to be a footballer because I love playing football, because I'm useless at anything else. I don't want to do any other job. And we had the dream job. Imagine getting paid, waking up every day, going into training, keeping yourself fit, kicking a ball around, playing with your mates. It's like playing in the playground when you're a kid, but getting paid. So I don't go with all this pressure rubbish. I don't go with that.
On modern day football, let's bring it back to the modern day now. Arsenal, obviously you're a fan. What do we need? What do we need now? Or do we need anybody?
Yeah, we do.
The transfer window is going to be shutting soon. Yeah. We've only signed Czech, who's been a great signing. But what else do you think we need? And what's realistic?
We need, I think, our priority, everybody's saying about a striker. We do need another striker. I'm a massive fan of Olivier Giroud. He reminds me a lot of Alan Smith. I think he's very underrated. He won't be underrated by his teammates, because when we play the 4-2-3-1 system, when he plays up front, he occupies the 2 centre halves, right? And he gets 15, 16, 17 goals a season. Now, as a big target man, that That's not bad. And that's about penalties as well, right? So that's not bad. But we need someone else. So if Benzema's available, as an Arsenal fan, it wouldn't bother me if we paid 55 million quid for him. Because a player of his quality can handle playing at a big club, like Real Madrid. There's high expectations there, same as what there is at the Emirates. The way that we play football, I will guarantee you, if he stays fit, he will get 20 plus because of the amount of chances that we create. And he is a penalty box striker. And he's physically strong enough. So we need someone to not take the prep, but just another world-class striker. Yeah. And I still think we need an enforcer in midfield. Francis Coquelin's done brilliantly. No one would have guessed, probably fans saw him play for Charlton, that he'd come on and been so influential because he has the legs that Arteta and Firmino haven't got. They've got the positional sense, but they haven't got the physical capabilities to close people down. But I still think that we need... You wouldn't say that Francis Coquelin was world-class. You'd say he's Premiership class at the moment. He's proved he can play. I still think we need a world-class holding midfield player. Someone who's about 6'2", 6'3", sits in front of the back four, closes people down, good at passing the ball forward. And then I've said I think that we'll be in the top 2 this year. I've reserved my judgment until the end of the transfer window because you don't know what everybody else is going to do. If we get those 2, I would... you very rarely want to back your own team because you think you're putting the mockers on them. But if it was any other team, I'd be saying they've got half a chance. And I think we've got half a chance if we get those 2 players.
And finally, listen, I want to just ask you about this this play with a legend concept. I mean, it's unbelievable. I saw the smiles on the faces of the guys today who got a chance to play, you know, with you, got a chance to play with Paul Merson. There were guys who played in our Arsenal Fan TV team who are just saying that, you know, they just can't believe it. Such a great idea. I mean, how did you come up with this idea?
It was I'd like to say that I sat down and I had an epiphany and like a brainstorm. It wasn't. It was just Josh, who's my business partner, Josh Landy. He was a producer at a company called Sports Night Live, and I got on really well with him. He said that all of his mates were massive Arsenal fans, and one of his mates was getting married, and his favourite player as a left back was Nigel Winterburn. Could I get Nigel to play in a 6-a-side, 7-a-side game as a surprise, so his mate didn't know he was turning up? So I said, Nigel, thanks, going to play. He went, yeah, I'll go and play. So it's 7-a-side. He went in the dressing room. His mate's face was like a pitch like when a kid sees Father Christmas. It was that sort of impact. Played in the game, had a few beers afterwards. Everybody had a great time. Then I was asked for myself and Steve Stedley to play in an Arsenal v Tottenham 11-side game. Again, load of Tottenham fans, load of Arsenal fans, big stag weekend at Chesham Football Club. So played there, they loved it. Josh buggered off to Australia to find himself for 3 months, which these young kids do these days. He came back, and I was thinking about it in the 3 months, thinking there's a business here somewhere. And I sat down, and he was thinking the same thing. So I come back, he was looking at something to do, and we came to the same idea. Lads get fed up, whether it's birthdays or stags or whitewater rafting or paintballing, they've done it a million times, you know what I mean? And so I said, right, I'll be the link, obviously phone up all the ex-players, so we go from, we've got Didier Mann, Andy Cole's done some stuff for us as well, Danny Murphy, you know, so sort of recent players, all the way down to old has-beens like me and Merce, players like Tony Cottee, Luther Blissett, you know, and I think this is a unique opportunity because we all love playing football. We're just really football fans. We're lucky enough to play football. There's a bond between an age group because they were young, obviously, when we played. But even the younger ones, the dads pass it on. You know, and they'll know. You can go on YouTube now. They sort of know who you are. And there's a bit of a distance now between the modern-day player and the fans. Fans don't very rarely see the modern-day player. You know, they don't go out to pubs like we used to and have a drink and end up with lap dancing clubs and that sort of stuff. So, and it's say we've got about 80 players on the books. You know, if you're on the website, Player of Legend, it's not just Arsenal; it's any team that you want. And it's the big part of it. What we're doing now is the playing side is great, but another big part of it is being in the bar afterwards, having a few pints. They want to hear your stories. They'll know, oh, loads of players have done an autobiography. Oh, what about that story when you went out there and you did this and you did that? And what they're amazed at is they think the story is going to be exaggerated in the book. That's half the story, because sometimes you can't put the full story because you want to protect the names of the innocent. So they'll go, well, no, that wasn't the full story. And then we'll tell them the real what happened, and they're even more surprised, shocked, funny. So it's a big part of it is, and all our characters that we've got, are good lads. They're not people who just turn up, play, think, thanks a lot, I'm off. They love being in the bar and having a couple of pints. So that's a very big part of it as well.
Well, listen, I wish you all the success for that, and also with your media career. So I love listening to you, your analysis and everything on Talk Sport, and fantastic career, and pleasure to meet you, and just keep up the good work.
Thanks very much. My old man said, be a Tottenham fan. I'm not going Jack Wilshere now. I ain't going to get told. No, I ain't doing that one.
No chance. I didn't give us a chance. That was probably the best club team I played against, Liverpool. That was a phenomenal team. They just won the FA Cup. They'd smashed West Ham 5 in the league. I mean, we struggled at home to Wimbledon, which we probably should have lost that game. If Wimbledon had a bit more about them, they had enough counter-attacking opportunities to win that game, which would have been all over. You know, and I remember when we run out, I looked to the left and the stand was half empty. I thought, oh my God, they don't even think we're going to win either. But everybody was stuck in traffic.